Yeah.
Very
Good business,
cool.
huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes sense all around.
Could be fun.
And I would love to. I'm a Harry Potter fan, so
I'm a fun ride fan.
Okay.
I like the amusement parks. And
Something
the
for
fun
everybody.
rides, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's quite cold out there.
Yes, it is quite
And
cold.
that not so much especially for the folks who still don't have a power.
Exactly. Yeah,
so much
it's
fun.
cold and it's staying cold.
Colder actually, right?
Colder in some spots. We saw record low temperatures yesterday in some spots, and we could do it again today. And by record lows, we were in the teens in some spots. And
Is it possible to be too cold for snow? That's one of those.
Yes.
Is that a wives' tale?
Yeah.
So
No,
it can be.
because it could be too dry. So basically, sometimes it's so dry you can't have any precipitation, and that's always the coldest when you have that dry, cold.
But
weather.
temperature is only a factor to some degree, then, right?
Exactly. Okay. But when you don't have any moisture, then you're not going to have any snow. But sometimes it can be too dry, and you have that moisture, and it would dry it out, so it wouldn't have any snow either. But that won't even be the case now because it is bone dry and no moisture whatsoever. We're looking at clear skies, not a cloud in the sky for the most part, and keeping things that way, well, for at least the next few days. We're going to have that extended forecast coming up in just a little bit, but you'll see temperatures currently in the 40s, 46 degrees right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. We're getting a look at Catalina this evening. That's where we're looking at, well, clear skies and cool conditions as well. Calm conditions over the water, though. So taking you through your weather headlines right here, frost advisories in store, a freeze warning in store as well, record lows possible, and below average highs as we head to tomorrow afternoon. We'll show you both the lows and the highs coming up in just a little bit, but you'll see earlier today we only got up to 63 degrees in downtown. Average is 68 degrees, so we were below average for this time of year, and we're staying below average as we head into the next 24 hours. We're down to 40 in the basin, 44 first thing in the morning, and by the afternoon we're up into the upper 60s, so we're still talking pretty cool temperatures for this time of year. Taking you through our lows tonight, you're going to see some of the coldest spots in the teens. Big Bear, 10 degrees tonight. Lancaster, 14 degrees. Palmdale, 16. Woodland Hills below freezing at 30. Ontario, right at freezing. You set a record yesterday. Could do it again today. 32 degrees. That's supposedly going to be the low for tonight, the supposed low. It does look like we could probably get maybe even a little below freezing in most of these spots, and well, below freezing certainly as we head into the IE Riverside, 28 degrees as we head into the overnight hours. Highs tomorrow, though, look pretty much the same. We're talking 50s and 60s, and again, we are below average for this time of year for the most part. Santa Monica at 67, downtown 68, Riverside 67, and Woodland Hills also getting up to 67 degrees as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So for the valleys and the Inland Empire, sunshine for the next few days, upper 60s for the most part. Another little event over the weekend. By event, we're talking a wind event, maybe seeing those offshore winds kicking up Saturday into Sunday, so we're calling it breezy to windy with maybe a little more cloud cover in the forecast by the time we head into Sunday. Your next 5-day forecast looks pretty similar in the way of, well, clear skies. So for the next few days with maybe a little bit of cloud cover building later in the week. At this point, though, we're calling it cool and clear, plenty of sunshine, mild temperatures, and then breezy conditions as we head into the weekend. We're going to show you what the coast looks like, and of course the high desert, very cold temperatures up there. We're talking teens. More on that coming up in just a little bit. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
All right,
It's more of a bitter cold, too. It's not sort of that gloomy cold. It's bright, it's sunny. It's a little deceptive because if you look out your window in the morning, it may look really warm out there, but that won't be the case across the entire Southland. In fact, tonight we're already starting to cool down. You're going to see temperatures currently into the 40s this evening right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City. We're at 46 degrees. Clear conditions out there and cool conditions. A freeze warning in effect. Frost advisory is currently in effect as well. And regardless, even if you're not under the advisory or the warning, we're still looking at very cold and potentially sub-freezing temperatures in, well, a lot of our inland spots especially. The coast is a little more mild. We're into the 50s this evening. The basin down to 48 degrees as we take it to the high desert. So it's the high desert in some of our valleys where we're really expecting some of the coldest numbers. 32 in Palmdale. The Lucerne Valley right there, 29 degrees. Over to Temecula, you're at 40. And back over to Laguna Beach, 51 degrees. So as we just mentioned, frost advisories in effect, a freeze warning in effect. But regardless, we're looking at very cold temperatures across the entire Southland tonight. Record lows are possible. We hit record lows last night. Looks like we could do it again tonight. Spots like the high desert. Ontario hit a record low yesterday. Maybe we could do it again. You're going to see right here below average highs as well. We did get below average temperatures earlier today, 63 was the forecast high for downtown. Average is 68 degrees. So we were below average, and we're keeping it at or below average for tomorrow. 40 into the overnight hours for the basin, 40s in the morning, and again, nothing but sunshine. But with that, we are looking at the cool numbers. We're showing you some of the coldest spots tonight. Big Bear, you're getting down to 10 degrees. Lancaster 14, Palmdale 16. So you got to bundle up in the mountains and in the high desert. And take a look, Woodland Hills looks like you're heading to below freezing territory. 30 degrees for you tonight. Ontario right at freezing, and Riverside below freezing at 28 degrees. We're going to show you what it's going to look like tomorrow and for the rest of your work week coming up in just a little bit. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Ev, thank you.
Yeah.
Much needed, too.
Yeah, so hopefully we can do it again this year. But
Let's beat that this year.
Exactly.
Let's
We
make
can't do it
2
without your
mounds.
help. 2 mounds, 3 mounds.
3
How about
mounds.
that? All right, going once. All right. Yeah, it's going to be, well, hopefully a great week for us. And of course, we're looking at a pretty cool week on tap. So if you are out and about this week, certainly wear a jacket, maybe a sweater, maybe even a scarf, especially into the overnight hours. It's pretty cool out there. We're currently into the 40s, and we're expected to drop down to maybe even the 30s in some spots, and even down into the teens in some spots as well. So clear conditions out there. We do have a freeze warning. Frost advisory is currently in effect, but even if you're not in the advisory or the warning zone, it's still going to be very cold for you. We're still expecting sub-freezing temperatures, close to freezing, and, well, just downright cold in most spots. 42 in Santa Clarita currently. Palmdale already below freezing at 31. In the Grapevine, we're in the 40s, and along the coast, a little more temperate for you. We're in the 50s this evening. So frost advisories and a freeze warning currently in effect. Record low temperatures are possible again tonight. Yes, we did do it again yesterday. We did it for the first time. Looks like we could do it again tonight. Below average high. So by the afternoon, we're still expecting below average temperatures. That was the case today as well. Got up to 63 degrees. Average is 68. So we were few degrees below average for this time of year, about 5 degrees to be exact. And you'll see by tomorrow we're actually at average or below average in most spots. Over the next 24 hours in the basin, dipping down to the 40s. So it's going to be a cool one for you. In the mornings, we're still in the 40s, and by the afternoon, we're still looking at temperatures in the 60s. We're at 10 degrees in Big Bear tonight. Lancaster and Palmdale both in the teens. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures into the 20s and the 30s as we head into the IE and, well, parts of the valley. Woodland Hills, 30 degrees for you tonight. And by tomorrow afternoon, we're really only making it to the 50s and the 60s. You'll see highs tomorrow look like this: 68 downtown, Palmdale 56. So cooler for the high desert, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 67 degrees. So you'll see your forecast right here, high pressure building. So we're actually looking at breezy conditions once we hit the weekend. Clear conditions, high pressure, keep things clear, at least for now. But at the same time, we're still looking at that cool air. So we're still dealing with very cold temperatures. Clear conditions generally also lead to very cool conditions into the overnight hours. All of the heat from the afternoon is escaping since we don't have any cloud cover insulating us. And with that, we're looking at those very cold numbers. Taking you to the beach, you're going to see 60s over the next few days. Temperatures into the 40s along the coast. And these are some of your warmest numbers at night. By Sunday, a little bit of low cloud cover coming our way. Rick and Sharon, back to you.
Gotcha. Thank you, Lee.
Thanks.